I ain't gonna tell you no motherfucking lie. I love my kids. Lord knows I do. But I'm here to tell you, if you ain't got no motherfucking kids by now, you ain't gotta waste your time. Y'all go ahead on and enjoy your life for the rest of your life. Because having kids ain't all what it's cracked up to be. You gotta think about what you're signing up for now. You know what I'm saying? Because see, most of us had kids. We ain't planned to have kids. We just had kids. So we was forced, to take care of what we created. So from the time you have children, you gotta remember, life is no longer about you no more. You forfeited your life to give it to that child. Now, while doing so now, you gotta give them your time, your energy, your money. You gotta give things to your children that you can never get back. You gotta raise them, all for them to grow up and tell you you ain't never did shit for them, and the shit you did do you had to do because they ain't asked to be here.
Wow. Hey, listen. You know what's crazy? One of the things I'm starting to see more and more of are people becoming more and more transparent on the internet about their experience as a parent. Like you see them becoming more forthcoming about what they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And this guy, he seems like he may or may not have just left the courthouse and the child support hearing didn't go his way. I don't know that to be true, but that's just the energy that I'm picking up on. And he could just be speaking from his true experience, you know what I'm saying? Being a parent. But, you know, being a parent is definitely a selfless job. And some people may have gone into it not understanding what they were signing up for because let's face it, a lot of people have kids very young and you don't really understand the responsibility that comes with that, right? So then it leads to people making these type of videos on the internet, which I understand that it's a digital footprint that's going to be there forever, but I don't think they fully understand that their kids are going to probably one day see these videos. You know what I mean? And maybe they don't care. Maybe they're at a point where they're just like, you know what? I've done all I can. My kid doesn't respect me. They don't value me as a parent. They don't honor me. And these are the results of that. So, but yeah, man, I'm curious to hear what else he got to say.
Now, kids can be a blessing. Are they a blessing all the time? I beg to differ. For those of us with great children that's out here doing great things, that's brought nothing but prosperity and happiness to our lives, those are your blessings. But it's a lot of kids out here that's running rabbit, that's driving their parents fucking crazy, that's out here stealing, being conniving, mischievous, hateful mothers. There's some kids out here that's causing pain and havoc on the world, man, and on a lot of people. There's a lot of kids out here that don't honor their parents, don't respect their parents. So you gotta kind of weigh, the good and the bad before you think about having kids. Because you gotta think about it now. That child ain't you. No matter how good you raise a child, no matter what you try to instill in them, boy, they're still gonna grow up and be whoever God ultimately designed them to be. And with all the worldly influence that we got now, boy, it's hard. Because nowadays, your child is corrupted and influenced by so much in today's society where it's hard to kind of just raise your child on your own the way you want them to be. Your child gonna mostly be what the world want them to be. To tell you the truth, whatever they're interested in, because the world have more of a leash on our children than we do.
I think he means influence. Because again, no matter what type of values you try to instill in your child inside of the household, they at some point have to walk out that door, whether it's going to school, whether it's going to the mall. Nowadays, they can be influenced by what's on social media. They can be influenced by what's on these television shows. And some people may say that they're pushing agendas on kids. And some people will even say that some schools are indoctrination camps now. So, you know, no matter what type of morals and values you try to instill within your child, at some point they're going to grow up and they're going to be who they're going to be. I've seen people raise kids in the church. Ultimately, the kid ends up rebelling and becoming the complete opposite of what they were raised to be. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just one of those jobs where I won't even call it a job. It's just one of those things where you can't predict the outcome. You know, no matter how much love you show them, how much nurturing you provide. And let's be real, there are some pretty messed up parents out there too. So we're not gonna act like this is all on the children, but just for the sake of this conversation, he's speaking to his experience. And then I'm gonna get to another video after this where a woman shares her experience as well. So but let's continue.
So children can be a blessing, and mine were a blessing. And although I can't stand their ass at times, and I wouldn't trade them for the world, sometimes I do ask myself what my life would have been like if I wouldn't have had none. But I did. And I gave it to them. I shared everything I had from the time I had children to now. I shared everything I had. Was it worth it? Hey, man. I don't know. I really don't know. As a man that done raised 5 children, my oldest son is dead. My other 3 grown children are out here doing what they do, and I'm raising my young baby. If you ask me, was it worth it? I don't know. All I can say is I don't know right now. Because the story is still being written. But I know I done experienced a lot of grief, a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, a lot of shit I ain't asked for. A lot of shit that came with this shit I didn't expect. I experienced a lot of pain that came with raising these children. And when you sacrifice, when you give somebody all you got, and for them not to be appreciative, for them to not honor you, man, it's hard. So I'm just gonna tell you this, man. If you ain't got no kids, what I do know for a fact is it's overrated. If you ain't got no kids, live your life for the rest of your life and enjoy your life for the rest of your life, and don't be tied down to nobody or nothing. It ain't what it's all cracked up to be. So if you ain't got kids, don't have none. It ain't all that.
Wow, damn, my condolences to him. He said he lost a child. And that's another thing. Like, you don't plan on these type of things happening within the child's lives, or losing a child, like things like that you can't prepare for. And he mentioned like how children can be ungrateful. I think a lot of times children become ungrateful because they're comparing their lives to their peers or the other kids at school, or what they see on TV. Like, you see streamers getting multi-million-dollar deals now, and they go to their kid or their friend's house for like a sleepover, and they see that their friend has every video game console. They have like a huge backyard, maybe a swimming pool. They got all the newest sneakers, the newest Jordans, the newest LeBrons, the newest KDs. And then they have to come back home where they probably get like maybe new clothes at the beginning of the school year, and they get a few outfits for Christmas. You know what I mean? It's like 5 kids in the house, and they all share one video game console. Um, they see their friend taking trips to Paris or going to Mexico, and your family taking road trips from Connecticut to North Carolina. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big difference, but it's hard to teach a child to be grateful. You can kind of try to instill that early on, like say thank you when they receive something. But once they start to see things from a different lens, it's very hard to have a child to remain grounded. And I remember when I was a kid, right? And there was this kid in school. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to put his family business out there like that. But he used to come to school with all the freshest Jordans. He used to have the Pele leathers. He used to have the Avirexes. He used to have a little gold chain. I'm like, yo, damn, how is this kid so fresh? As I got older, I realized his dad was a dope boy. You know what I'm saying? But kids don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? When you're younger, you just think like, damn, this kid has more than me, what appears to be more than you. But you may have a very loving home at the house. Like, you might have parents that really love you and nurture you and take care of you and feed you, do their best to provide for you. And he may be being abused, but he has all these things. But you know what I'm saying? So you just can't really compare yourself to the lives of others. And kids don't really understand that early on. But I'm gonna play another video. This is from a woman's perspective as a single mom, and she's speaking on blended families and what her experience has been, because I wanted to get both sides. I didn't want to just have one side of what the experience is for the guy, but I wanted to hear how women feel about it as well.
Something that's kind of an unpopular opinion as a single mom or even as a person is that I think blended families are not it. I don't think single moms should date dads. I don't think that blending kids together is that great of an idea. I think it comes with a lot more trauma than benefits. I think it really stresses the single mom out. I mean, we're already mothering so much, unless it's a really incredible situation where it's leveling up your life in so many ways and you and your child are 100% of the time feeling comfortable and good and safe. Sure, that's fine. But most of the time, a blended family comes with so much conflict, so much stress, anxiety, so many people to manage, so many different dynamics, so much pain from somebody's divorce. It's just really not it. I really encourage you as a single mother to be so mindful of spending your time in a blended family, because you could opt out and just have the time of your life as a single mom, and you're a whole family as a single mom with your kids. Like, that's a legit family. You create your own traditions, you fill each other's cups, you grow together. That's a family. And when you are 43, 53, whatever, those kids, your kids, that's your family. And blending a family is so incredibly hard that if you invest your precious time when your kids are young into blending a family, just be mindful if you're investing too much. Chances are good that you are, and you don't have to do it. You can opt out.
Well, she definitely brought up a good point when it comes to like creating your own traditions within your own family. Let's say you have a family and you decide to get with someone who has a child as well. You get with someone who has a kid, and you decide y'all gonna move in together. Now, you've created a tradition within your house. You have certain structures, you have certain rules. This child now has to adapt to those rules, and sometimes they don't always adapt. Sometimes they rebel. um, you and the parent can have a good relationship, but then the child may view you a certain way because you're technically not their biological parent. And then you got to consider that that may be a conversation one day. You may be trying to discipline them or chastise them, and they may say to you, "Hey, you're not my dad, or you're not my mom." Like, do you even want to go through that type of experience? And again, you would hope that most children will be respectful and the parent will make sure that they are respectful, but that's not always the case. So I guess that's something to consider as well. But y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about that, man. How y'all feel about a blended family? Do y'all think that it's worth it in this day and age? Um, do you guys believe that sharing your story as a parent online can hurt your relationship with your child? Because again, I've been seeing more and more of these videos, so people are becoming more compelled to say what's going on within their families and how raising a child has not always been the most rewarding. But again, the child didn't ask to be here, so it's something that you're going to have to try to navigate through. So I appreciate y'all once again for watching the videos. I appreciate everyone that's been subscribing to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that share button. And again, man, I really appreciate y'all, man. This is an interesting conversation, man. So until next time, peace.